Ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest for you. I want to introduce to you Kristen Gutierrez. Kristen used to be burnt out, overlooked, and undervalued. She was constantly chasing shiny objects, yet never felt fulfilled. All that changed when she turned what happened to her into what happened for her and started living a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment, called by major industry leaders as the LFG Queen and the Get It Done Girl. Kristen is a two-time award-winning entrepreneur and best-selling author who has spoken on stages with the likes of Eileen Wilder. When you listen to her teach, you will immediately recognize that she is one of the most masterful communicators and teachers you have ever heard. If you're ready to have more impact, more income, and most of all, more fun, you're in the right place with Kristen and I. Welcome, Kristen.
Woo, woo. You have an awesome voice, Montrella. Thank you so much for having me to your show.
Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you so much for having me. What's up?
Hello, my dear. What's the weather like over there?
Well, I am living in sunny Southern California, so wildfires aside, it's a good day to have a good day here. What about where you are?
Yeah, I'm in the sunshiny state of Florida. Yes, indeed. No complaints over here. So, we are here to share with our listeners all about you and your business success. You ready?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It's an honor to be here.
Yes. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Kristen.
Yeah, and thank you for that opportunity. You mentioned I turned what happened to me into what happened for me. So I had been climbing the corporate ladder in sales, and April 17th, 2023 was unexpectedly let go from my corporate six-figure job. And at the same time, like, I don't know, wave at me if you or anybody listening have ever overextended yourself or you dipped your toe in maybe a few different places all at once.
Oh,
But
yes.
so on April 17th, 2023, we were walls wide open with a total gut rehab on an investment property 2,000 miles away. And the exit strategy was a cash out refi using my W-2. So we had to not only worry about how to keep a roof over my kid's head, but
Mhm.
honestly, like, not go into massive financial despair instantly, because I don't know if you've ever had credit card companies calling you, but they start calling, I found out, very, very fast.
Mm.
And so I leaned in, we can talk about that more, but I leaned into monetizing my expertise, which was sales. And I started consulting other businesses on sales. And then in 2024, I pivoted to what I do now that fills my cup. And that is coaching other coaches, entrepreneurs, consultants, and course creators, all the like, with selling high ticket offers and learning the art and strategy of sales strategies. So, yay.
Woo, that was a lot. And I'm going to walk through this slowly for our listeners. But wow, girlfriend, I am so excited about the fact that you turned what happened to you into what happened for you. So, what would you say was the breaking point that inspired you to get started?
My gosh. Well, what I did was accidentally get started right away. Because as humans, we seek comfort. And so again, like, if you're listening like this podcast now, if you've ever unexpectedly lost your job, like, thank you, great layoff of post, everything that's been happening in the last couple
Oh,
of years.
yes.
Or maybe you know somebody who's impacted.
Oh,
And
yes.
as humans, this couch, like behind me, it's so natural to say, I'm going to take a nap,
Yeah.
or I'm going to binge watch my favorite show,
Netflix. Yes.
or eat a box of cookies. I
Mm.
sought comfort in action. And
Mm.
so one of my superhero strengths now is to teach others how to put themselves into imperfect action. So it's funny
Mm.
because I lost my job, and like as they're telling me on a Zoom meeting at 10 a.m., well, obviously I was texting my then husband, and I start texting everybody, and I never stopped moving. I probably did 200 phone calls in the first 2 days of being.
Wow. Well, so tell me, like, once you hit that spot, which sounds like a point of no return, you got laid off from your six-figure position. Like, how did that make you feel?
Oh, yeah, like in the moment, like horrible, like what is happening? Like I can't believe I've lost this. But then when I started making money, so 10 a.m. I had the Zoom call with
Mm.
my CEO and the head of HR. And at 2 p.m. that same day, I won my first client. And
Wow.
that feeling was like, was just like your wow. Like it was amazing. It was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Now I just need to do it a few more times.
Okay. Were you a bit scared though initially with children? How many children do you have, by the way?
We have two children, and as the date of this recording, they are still 4 and 6. And that was almost 2 years ago already. So, what do you say, young?
You had little ones like 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Was that scary or what?
And we were not having, a few months after that, we ended up filing for divorce. So
Oh,
there was a lot of
oh
chaos.
wow. Okay. Do you
It was
think
scary.
the fact that you lost your position and everything impacted your relationship, your marriage at that point?
No, he is wonderful. We are excellent co-parents,
Wonderful.
and we ended up living together
Mm-hmm.
post-divorce over 6 months. So,
Mm-hmm.
and we're stuck together for life because we have our kids. So
Yes.
we
Yeah.
have
That's what's up.
100% made the best of it. And
Okay.
there was something else. I forget exactly what it was that happened. And he's just like, I've got you. Like, we won't
Oh,
separate our money. Like, we'll just keep
oh,
grinding it out together, because that was the thing. Even together, we were having to grind it out. So
okay.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was stress.
You were feeling
Oh,
stressed. Wow. Were you angry?
cortisol.
Were you
I
angry?
chose not to be angry.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? I knew it wasn't personal. And I knew that I had already announced to the world that I was writing Be a Better Sales Leader,
Yes.
but there was 4 VPs and two of us that day got let go. So it
Wow.
really wasn't personal. And I
Okay.
don't know I'm not going to pretend to know why they made the decision to let me go versus my peers, but
Yeah.
I chose gratitude.
Yes. Wow. That's a powerful place to come from. But it was a bit scary, wasn't it?
Oh, it was so scary, so
Yeah.
stressful,
Yeah.
so many unknowns.
Yeah. If you know about being in the zone of the unknown, put a yes in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen. Put a yes if you can empathize with that.
Mhm.
So tell me, Kristen, what's your process? What do you
Ah,
do to get people through on the other side so they can be in a state of gratitude when it comes to their business?
yeah, well, I've gotten so I know you and me, we believe in other coaches.
Yeah.
And so I've had a ton of help. I've paid for lots and lots of coaching courses, mentorship. One of my now good friends, she created a program called Emotional Sobriety, and I talk about her all the time. And she helped me not be bitter, angry, resentful,
Oh,
or
baby.
ego-filled, both in my marriage and in life.
Okay.
So all of those things. And then you know what I personally do?
Mhm.
I flood my Instagram with
Mhm.
positive abundance, affirmations, and quantum leap type content, because
Okay.
I'm constantly liking those things. And I mean, I get stuck like everybody else with the scroll and with the other things,
Yes.
but I try to share all of the positive, because
Yes.
otherwise, unfortunately, social media, A, can be a mega time suck, even if you make money from it. And B, there's just a lot of negativity in politics and everything.
Okay.
So I use my phone to trigger.
Yes.
Last night when something happened, I was like, I went to my phone. And you
Okay.
know what I saw?
Okay.
immediately on my home screen of Instagram. The first video was a video of manifesting $1
Mm.
is the same as manifesting $100 million.
Yes.
And I
That's a
listened to
yeah.
that video, that 20-minute video, like twice.
Okay. So I hear coaches, I hear positive affirmations and things to that effect.
Uh,
Any other secret sauce you want to share about your particular, because when it comes to sales, some people they're like allergic to the word. They're like,
oh, well, yeah, yeah.
I hear all the time, and it's so like bizarre and opposite of what we actually do. I hear people literally say, I'm not a salesperson. I'm like, you're right. Every time you tell me to go on Amazon, every time you say the iPhone did this and that, you are promoting, you are marketing, you are actually selling for these billionaire, multi-billionaire companies. So share this with us a secret sauce or two about sales
Yeah.
and
Yes.
your process. What's your process called, by the way?
Well, yeah, let's talk through it, right? Because I did spend 20 years climbing the corporate ladder in sales, and so many people say to me, but I'm not a salesperson. So just like
Yes.
sort of
Yeah.
anchoring.
Yes.
But you're right, my sister, who's an attorney, is also a salesperson.
Better believe it.
And so mindset is number one. It's just that as a coach, I don't say, oh, and you also get mindset. It just also happens as a byproduct. So what is our mindset about sales? But then
Mm.
when we're selling, do we
Yes.
believe in the thing that we're selling? And
Mm.
the number one strategy I can give is whether you're selling for other people
Yes.
or whether you're selling for yourself. First of
Yes.
all, selling for yourself means something more. And you'll find, maybe like I did, that I can cold call or email other
Mm.
people for somebody else's business easier than I could call for my own. I had to ask one of my mentors why. And he
Yes.
said, because it means something. It means something
Yes.
different now.
Yes.
So what, again, mindset is like, who do you have in your circle? And
Yes.
I'll share my 4-step framework
Yeah.
for taking imperfect action. But
Yes.
number one thing, Montrella, is you're not selling yourself,
Mm.
you're selling a system.
Mm.
So if you're coaching, what's the system that you're coaching on? If you're consulting, what's
Yeah.
the outcomes in the system that you're giving to your clients? And this is crazy, but because corporate sales is different than selling to other entrepreneurs or even individuals, I
Yes.
had to, most of what I had originally learned didn't immediately apply for me as an entrepreneur. I had to learn after 20 years of corporate sales
Right.
how to actually sell to individual humans.
Right. Wow.
And at first I sold myself. I sold myself. And it wasn't until
Wow.
12 months into my entrepreneurial journey that I learned
Wow.
not myself, it's a system.
Wow. Mm. System, mindset, and system. Yeah, here we give the tactical, practical strategies, really wealth hacks. So that year it took you, we want to give our listeners like collapse it into a month or a day if we can. So, number one, it sounds like what I'm hearing on a practical, tactical level is that you must have a system and not just any system, one that you believe in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, here's another thing, and then we'll
Yeah.
get in my imperfect action framework, but like
Yes.
iteration, somebody write this down, put it in
Yes.
the chat. If this, iterate your system,
Mm.
iterate your offers.
Yes.
Because so often we say, oh, I'm going to become a keynote speaker or I'm going to
Yes.
write a best-selling book. And then we
Yes.
put in a vacuum.
Yes.
We want to ask what the market wants and
Yes.
give them what they need. And so,
Uh-oh.
oh, right.
Yeah.
And so by
Yeah.
doing that, we need to adjust our system as we go, as we get market feedback. Don't wait,
Yes.
going, but get the market feedback, get what people are actually buying, ask them. It's probably
Mm.
different than what you thought, and
Mm.
adjust your system, iterate your offers as you need to.
Yes. And I think a lot of people don't connect those dots. Listen, y'all, she's dropping some real nuggets like science up in here. So I do hope y'all got your pen and papers and are taking notes. So a lot of people don't realize with what you're saying, Kristen, that even the iPhone, the first one was an iteration. And now we're just like on iteration 15 or 16 or wherever we are now. And they don't realize that. And they don't realize it's them who actually built that system, gave the feedback for them to elevate it. Am I getting warm here?
Oh, I love that analogy. I'm going to use it. That is so good. Yeah, because no, we just take it. Oh, cool. Another version of an iPhone. But you're 100% right. There'll be hundreds of versions of an iPhone, and then something new that we never knew we always needed that'll maybe replace it, right? Like we went from iPod. Was that what it was?
Yes. Yeah.
Like an iPod?
The iPod. Yep. I remember those.
Walkman. We went from a Walkman to
Look, we're dating ourselves now. Walkman. Little headfest, a little box.
got our tapes. I mean, I'm talking
Yes.
about tape.
Oh, the cassette tapes. Uh-oh. Yes, absolutely. And with the feedback, with the customer feedback, with the yearning, they're just watching. They're watching what we want. Like you said something earlier that was really spot on too, which is give them what they want. Give them what they want. So many of us are like going into some closet somewhere, right? And just working and working and working and busting our brains and trying to figure this thing out. And yeah, voila, it's a masterpiece. But guess what? Nobody wants it. So we got to start to tap into the market, you all, and really listen to what our customers are telling us they want. And iPhone is pretty good at that, wouldn't you say? Selfie. We told them that we wanted that. Yes,
Here.
that market feedback is powerful.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, because I want to get into your system,
Yeah.
and I also want to know, from your perspective, what do you feel holds people back?
Oh, I mean, I think, and maybe you knew it, maybe you didn't. It's a perfect tee up for what my system solves for, because I think it's imposter syndrome. I think it's comparison of others, and I think it's paralysis by overanalysis.
Yes.
So, like, broadly speaking, getting out of
Yeah.
our own way.
Ooh. If y'all are feeling her, drop feel in the chat. OMG. It's real. It's
It is.
so real. Yeah, tell us more about that imposter syndrome.
Well, and it's funny because I don't know, but like wave at us, give us some likes. If you too feel imposter syndrome, we can feel imposter syndrome several times a day or a
Um,
season. We
yeah.
all have it because
Yeah.
it's what makes you feel like a fraud. So giving your first
Mm-hmm.
keynote, you have to give
Mm-hmm.
a keynote to get
Mm-hmm.
future keynotes.
Yeah.
So then what's that strategy? Writing
Yes.
a best-selling book. Oh my gosh. I
Oh,
started
yes.
writing my book March 1st of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
was fired April 17th
Are you
as
serious?
a VP of sales,
Wow.
writing a book called Be a Better Sales Leader.
Mm.
And on May 31st, I released Be a Better Sales Leader 2
Wow. Impressive.
because
Yeah.
I knew I got out of my own way and I
Yes.
overcame the imposter syndrome that because I was fired as a VP of sales,
Mm.
take away all the experience I had to share with the world about, in fact, being a better sales leader.
I love that. Yes. So it was more than a coincidence that you were going through this right as you were writing Be a Better Salesperson.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, the universe knows, right? But it takes
Yes.
us a minute to catch up.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, that's work. I can tell you've been doing your work, your inner work. A lot of
Yeah.
people neglect that piece, but yeah, this is really powerful and it's so real. A lot of people do experience that imposter syndrome. And even, sometimes people can't even take compliments. Like you may be really good, talented, or gifted, and people are like acknowledging you for that. And you're just like blowing it off and like making excuses for it. And people value that, and people will even pay for that. Because, mind you, I talked about the iPhone in its first iteration, but I never told you they were giving out iPhones for free. We have to pay even for that first iteration. And each iteration, we have to pay.
Oh, you're right. We can't even take compliments. Montrella, you look beautiful today.
Thank you. I try to every day. Thank you,
No,
man.
there's something that says that something in us that makes us want to default to, oh, like,
Yes.
a different iteration of what you did. So you've been doing your
Yes.
work too, my friend.
Yes. Yes. What else do you feel holds people back?
I mean, like fear of the unknown,
Mm.
right? Like, I don't know if it's going to work
Oh
out.
my.
But that's the thing. Nobody knows. It's all,
Mm.
on the one hand, it's all going to work out. They
Mm.
say if you follow the same stuff I follow, it's like what's meant for you will find you.
Mm.
But at the same time, like we overcomplicate it. What if this offer doesn't work out? What if that relationship doesn't work out? What if that diet doesn't work out, right? Like, cool, we try a different diet. We try a
Mm.
different approach to gaining muscle or losing weight. Like,
Mm.
just because the slim fast diet, there we go again,
Mm.
didn't work, doesn't mean that there isn't something out there that
Right.
could work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's just the fear of not.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and I think a lot of our audience members can relate to this is that when it comes to relationships, when it comes to losing weight or fitness, those things are, pro-social, so to speak. Whereas when you talk about a business, a lot of people equate business to corruption, business to being unethical. And a lot of people, although they know they have a business inside of them ready to be birthed, they have a lot of shame that they feel with it. Can you
Yeah.
speak to that?
I don't know if I can speak to the shame part, but the thing you just reminded me was before I launched my business, I had it on my heart to have a business. I talk about it in my book. My grandfather on my dad's side, he was, I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs in my family, but he owned this manufacturing company that was
Yes.
very successful in
Okay. Wow.
and
Okay.
I lived with my grandpa for a minute after college.
Oh, wow. I think he rubbed off on you, Kristen.
And he would always say to me, why doesn't anybody in my family want to be an entrepreneur like me? And I didn't know
Wow.
20 years,
Yeah.
but it was it wasn't that we didn't because my dad is one
Oh,
and
good.
we
Okay.
wanted to chase our own version of it.
Yes.
But it was on my whiteboard. And no matter that, I didn't know how I would do it
Mm.
unless I was pushed off the cliff because
Wow.
we were doing this huge renovation project in
Mhm.
2,000 miles away in Indiana. We had no savings, we had no
Mhm.
retirement, we had used everything we had, and now we were drawing off credit cards. So somebody saying not smart, but at the same time, it was the fear. And I know you said shame, so I'm like, I don't know if that was the word I
It could
articulated.
be fair. Yeah. Some of
It
us it is
isn't.
fair.
But like, how do I have kids now? I have a
Yeah.
California-sized shack of a mortgage. Like, how do I do something for me?
No.
And now that every day
Yeah.
we wait longer, and there are entrepreneurs that start at 50,
Yeah.
60, 80 years old.
Yes.
Every day we wait longer, we're going to have more excuses. Like they say, like
Yes.
don't wait to have
Yes.
kids because there's never, quote, the right time.
Mm. Mm.
Business is somewhat the same.
Are y'all hearing this? See, Kristen just gave us a third thing holding us back, but she was real gentle about it. Y'all making excuses out there. Come on now. Confess. It's all right. We've been there. Kristen and I have been there. But when we can overcome that fear, because the world is waiting for us
What
and
do
our
you think,
services
Bella? What do you think
about.
that about holds people back? Like
I mean,
anything?
I totally agree with you. Definitely, like you said, the imposter syndrome, that's real. It requires something, especially it can seem a lot of people. I used to hear this with my coaches all the time, before I started really elevating my business. It's lonely at the top. See, it's a lot easier to just, go with the crowd and have a herd mentality and get a 9 to 5 that you hate.
Even if you loved it, I loved it.
Oh,
I
wow.
it was sad. I really wasn't angry. I was like, I had asked to become the chief revenue officer, and respectfully, my CEO had told me, "You're not ready." And that is when I decided I didn't always, it's funny, I did want to have my own business, but I didn't always want to write my own book. I woke
Wow.
up one day and thought, if
Mhm.
I wrote a book, it will demonstrate either to my current leadership or broadly out to the world that I'm
Yes.
capable of holding a higher role. Your
Wow.
job, people often get
Yeah.
stuck in the wheel, or you can love your job and then unexpectedly, because it's not your business,
Losing.
something happens.
There's not real security in there.
Yeah,
That's
well,
one of the benefits of having a business. We get to create our own income security and
yeah,
financial freedom ultimately. Yeah.
yeah. Let me give the four-step action framework because
Yes.
for me, this is the antidote to what holds us back, imposter syndrome, fear,
Yes.
getting out of our own way. So if you're
Yes.
listening and she told you to get that pen, write this down. The first step is to decide. So, simply by making a decision, guess what neuroscience proves is that our brains will release dopamine, that feel good chemical in our brain that gets released when we eat some chocolate or we work out. The dopamine will get released when we simply decide
Wow.
because the transformation is in the transaction. So, making the
Mm.
decision to cold call, to start texting a bunch of people I know, like, and trust from my 20-year experience instead
Wow.
of taking a nap on the couch. That was the
Ooh,
decision point that day.
okay. Yep.
And then the next two steps, it's like so simple.
Mm.
The next step is to take a step. So
Whoa.
it's like send the text, send that uncomfortable DM. Like I've got DM frameworks and strategies for it, but like make a post. Don't make yourself out to be a victim. You know,
Mm.
like just start taking
Right.
steps.
Wow.
Because the third thing to do is to lean in. So
Oh.
it took me, I think, like I would have to go back either that day. Oh, you know what I did? The day I lost my job, I said, I'm LinkedIn launching my own business.
Mm.
Never even mentioned that I lost my job. I
Wow.
launched my business, and that post blew up. And then on
Wow.
Facebook, the narrative was somewhat different,
Okay.
but it was more about like this thing happened and I'm looking for these opportunities.
Wow. So you spilled the tea on getting fired?
I didn't say it like, I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't say it the way people say it now.
Okay. Okay.
They weren't saying it then. And I was
Okay.
just genuinely like, I don't want to focus on the negative.
Okay.
I need like to move. And so
Okay.
the third step is to lean in. So when you're leaning
Yes.
in, you're asking for help. You're saying, who can help me? And so the Facebook post was like, who can help me? And the LinkedIn
Oh.
post was like, I launched my business. Who can help me spread the word?
Oh, I like it.
The
Yes.
fourth and final step is to
Yes.
celebrate the heck out of it.
Ooh, I like your fire. That is secret sauce, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa.
And so repeat that cycle, those four steps, as many times a day or a week or a season as you need to. And
Ooh.
you'll get so far. You'll get out of your own head. You'll stop comparing where you are today, your beginning to somebody else's middle or end.
Yes.
Well, you won't like, oh, she looks better, or he's
Hmm.
been doing this longer, or all these stories
Wow.
we tell ourselves. Because guess what? No one else's opinions pay our bills.
Wow. Woo. She's dropping some nuggets, some fire. I'm trying to keep up with it. Okay. So the
All
four
right.
steps are decide, take a step, lean in, hey, lean in, and then celebrate. Woo!
Yeah,
I like that. Yes, people don't celebrate their successes.
they don't, and they
Yes.
celebrate this. I learned this in as a VP.
Yes.
We started to celebrate everything.
Yes.
For some days it's hard to show up, whether
Yeah.
for yourself or not. That's a
Yeah.
celebration. Somebody answered the
Yes.
phone. That's a
Mhm.
celebration.
Yes.
Somebody said maybe. That's a celebration. Somebody
Yes.
booked a project. That's a
I
celebration.
love it.
Just celebrate.
Just celebrate. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Now, I think me and my crew, we're a little bit of geeks. We're a bit of geeks. What book? Now, I am definitely want to hear more about your book so people can get that. But What book would you recommend for a business owner who is trying to level up and get to that 6 figures a month, 7 figures per year? What's the one book you would recommend?
Easy. I
E-
want to know if you've read it. So it's my favorite. I just discovered it last year. 10x is easier than 2x by
Yes,
Ben
indeed.
Hardy and Dan Sullivan. So
Absolutely. Yes, it is.
yeah, that
Oh,
book.
that's a good one. Yes, that even has success criteria in it. Yes, and some other good things. Yes.
I even told my friend who's not in this space, but she's like my best friend, one of my best
Mhm.
friends here, to read it because sometimes like we just don't speak the same language. Like she's in sales, but she
Yes.
sells for dental offices
Okay, okay.
or like making all this money selling these things.
Yes, yes,
And this book is like a bridge. It
yes,
allows because it takes you to just another level.
yes,
I mean, there's so
yes.
many good books out there.
Yes. That's a good point. That's why I even created this podcast because, that incremental, slow, hardworking growth is miserable. And by the time we may get a quarter of the way to our real goal, we are totally exhausted and operating on E. And
Yeah.
so if you can 10x, which is even easier, less work,
Mhm.
more fun, and
Mhm.
get results 10 times that of where you are now. Oh, that's it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, I definitely have read that. Great. Any other nuggets or wisdom you'd like to share for the other bosses out there, Kristen? Because I know you're doing your thing.
Yeah, ask for help. Like,
Ask
oh,
for help. Ooh.
ask for help. It is scary
Yeah.
alone at the top on an island trying to create things or innovate. And when you invest in mentorship, you get not only the advice from your now mentor, but you get the entire community that is surrounding them. And there are so many relationships, business and collaboration opportunities that come from these people. I get the chills.
Hmm.
I mean, that is the best. Even if, like, everybody hear me out, even if you've already invested before and for whatever reason it didn't work,
Yes.
do it again.
Yes. Wow. That's it. I love it. It's so real. There's an African proverb that says it takes a village to
Mm,
raise a child. There's so much wisdom in that, as in any proverb. It takes a village for everything. Like if you want to get it done, so like any of the bosses out here, any of the people you are idolizing out here, they have a team. Even if they're the face of it, they have a team. They have
yeah,
the team that's the wind beneath their wings. And so
yeah.
thank you for reminding us that number one, people are out here to help you.
Mhm.
And two, take advantage, get the help, make the investment, do what you need to do to build your team so that you can 10x. I love it. Tell us about your book, Kristen, before you go today.
Well, so the one they can find on Amazon today is Be a Better Sales Leader.
Let's see it. Let's see
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Be a
had
better sales leader.
I had so many people tell me when this came out, it's not a sales book. So
Mm.
if you're like, wait, what? It's really about surrounding yourself with the right people and getting mentorship.
Mm.
And it's
Okay.
about continuously developing within your career. That
Yes.
is what a sales leader needs to do in order to get better. And even to your point, the people we're idolizing or the people at the top, they all also have coaches. Everybody who's getting somewhere
Everyone.
in life has one coach, multiple coaches.
Absolutely.
And we've all spent money and time on programs that didn't
Mhm.
work the way we wanted them to. So
Absolutely.
this
Yes.
is the first book. And the second book coming out, TBD, is called Say Yes and Figure It Out, which
Oh,
talk
okay. We're gonna
about,
have to have you back for that one.
oh, let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It's like going to talk about the idea of like getting out of our own way, overcoming imposter syndrome, and leaning into imperfect action.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice. I love it. Well, if you didn't know, you can be a sales leader and be beautiful too. Okay. You can do this thing with ease. We don't have to be stressed or anxious about it. And know that we are all salesmen too, and women, saleswomen too.
are.
So we really appreciate you joining us today and dropping your nuggets and wisdom with us, Kristen.
Thank you so much for having me, Montrella. It's been a pleasure to be here. You're so
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, keep shining, keep climbing, and remember your 7-figure empire is on your timing. See you next time.